Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about the importance of play as rest. We live in a culture where a person's worth is often measured in direct correlation with their productivity. Because of this, we often conflate what we can do with what we should do. We don't allow ourselves the freedom, let alone develop the discerning confidence, to say no to others or ourselves when we need to. There's this thing called the Zeigarnik effect, named after Soviet psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik. It basically postulates that our brains more readily recall unfinished tasks over finished ones. This memory hitch creates a strong drive in us to complete things. I believe it may follow that we may not feel we can truly rest until we believe we have completed enough things. But this is a problem. The first reason this is problematic is obvious. Who can say when enough is enough? We often look to our authorities to tell us when we've done enough, but they might not have a healthy grasp on it either. Do we only feel justified resting when we've already become grumpy and tired and are giving leftover scraps to our loved ones? That really shouldn't be the case. This is also an issue when we skew our priorities to favor task completion over truly meaningful work or activities. Of course, the trash does need to be taken out and that email does need to be replied to, but we are often slaves to the flashing red lights these tasks switch on. How many of us have stayed awake at night because we can't stop thinking about what needs to be done the next day? Even when you're fully aware that you need to sleep, your brain has operated so long and so frequently on the fleeting highs of task completion that you can't get it to stop firing to-do lists at you. If we're honest, for some of us, this even follows us on vacation, even when we're trying to be the most intentional about resting. Unfortunately, a lazy afternoon sitting in a beach chair can be just as unrestful as sitting in the chair at your office because you've got all the same tabs in your mind open and all the red lights are still switched on. This, my friend, is where play comes in. Somewhere along the line, many of us began to believe that being an adult simply means dealing with these flashing lights 24/7. We pine for the times in our childhoods when we were not the ones burdened with bills, appointments, and check engine lights. We so often forget, however, that a big part of this freedom is still accessible to us. Play. Super fun fact, your brain can't think about two things at once. Have you ever tried? If you find yourself feeling unable to really relax, play. Take a day trip to an interesting place. Buy some Play-Doh and make a castle. Fill up the water guns and have a war with your friends. Bake something new. Play a pickup game of soccer. Dance. Actively do something that requires your full attention. Most importantly, make this playtime a regular part of your routine. It will give your brain a regular time of rest while also cultivating healthy, positive feelings about life and about yourself. As a believer, I must add this. Creation is meant to be enjoyed. One of the first commandments God gave the young nation of Israel was this: work 6 days, rest on the seventh. Even He ceased His work in creation on the seventh day to revel and delight in its goodness. He wants us to enjoy it. I once heard a preacher say, God wants to use us to build His kingdom, but He will not build it on our backs. Work is important, rest is important, play is definitely important. Last week, I got to spend a few days at the beach with my family. As you can see, I spent a good time of my beach time drawing, and I loved every second of it. I was surrounded by people I love in a scenic space, so I just drew from life. This was my play. No social media, no client work, no endless task lists. Aside from using my phone to take videos, along with copious amounts of photos of my nieces, I hardly picked it up. I brought it around with me more as a camera than a computer, and I loved it. For these drawings, I held my pencil rather loosely. I didn't bother with the exact likeness. People were moving most of the time anyway. The end results were super sketchy, but I had so much fun making them. My mind was focused on simple things like line and shadow. The red lights of day-to-day life were off. If you're at the beach when you decide to play, here are a few ideas. Spend some time with some loved ones. Take a nice night walk on the beach with your favorite person. Collect a bunch of seashells, but be honest with yourself, you're never going to do anything with them. Build a sandcastle if your niece shares her toys. Mine said probably not. Take a note from Mary Poppins and go fly a kite. Draw something in plain air. Sit on the porch and shoot the breeze. Play music. Watch the sunset. Walk on the pier. Dramatically toss a flower into the ocean from the pier. Dramatically do it again, but in slow motion. Then make a bunch of other slow motion videos.